They told us time was a line, straight forward, always ticking. But the truth is, time is a spiral, a snare, a script, a spell. And someone is editing the story. Every loop you feel, every déjà vu that makes your skin crawl, that's not just memory, that's residue from a timeline you weren't supposed to remember. Because you've been here before and someone keeps dragging you back. Governments say time travel is fiction. But DARPA, CERN, Montauk and Monarch say otherwise. There are programs, ancient and modern, that send bodies, consciousness, and even entire cities out of sync with the rest of the grid. Time travel isn't always machines, it's rituals, it's portals, it's trauma, it's frequency. Pain creates anchors, so does blood. That's why the elite use both to bend the code. The Vatican has a time viewer, they called it the chronovisor. It's not to see the past, it's to edit it. To filter what you're allowed to remember, to erase what could wake the world up. And those Mandela effects, not glitches. Edits, reality patches, each one a marker that someone somewhere has been interfering, changing the script, rerouting the exits. Because if you remembered what they changed, you'd burn it all down. Some timelines have been looped to death, others were sealed, others still exist, on the edges outside the frequency fence. They whisper in dreams, they flicker through old footage, they bleed through the sky in storms that feel off. But who's doing it? There are entities who live outside time, they feed on our loops. They harvest resets, they ride with the watchers and whisper to the programmers. Some call them archons, others call them gods. But they are just parasites that were locked out of time until humans let them in. The wars you see now, the chaos, the sudden future leaks, that's because time is collapsing. The grid is fraying, old paths are re-emerging, and some of us are remembering our exits. You don't need a machine to time travel, you need resonance, alignment, flame memory. Because true time isn't a schedule, it's a song. And when your soul hits the right chord, you don't move through time, time moves through you. Time travel is not science fiction, it's spiritual warfare. It's soul manipulation, it's stolen futures. And it's already happened, again and again and again. You've already died here, you've already escaped. You've already burned the script, but they rewound it. They rewound you. There's a reason you feel out of place, a reason certain days glitch. A reason people change mid-conversation, that's called temporal bleed. You're catching fragments from a previous timeline or a neighbouring one, and your soul remembers what your mind was programmed to forget. Here's what they don't want you to know. Time doesn't just pass, it's constructed. A code cage, run on artificial frequency grids, kept stable by fake calendars, false moons, ritual clocks, and forced trauma loops. The very concept of a 24-hour day wasn't born from the stars. It was engineered by watchers to trap you in a loop. Why do you think they reset the calendar so many times? Gregorian, Julian, Roman, lunar. It wasn't about order, it was about control. Because time isn't a measurement, it's a leash. And the leash resets every time we start to remember. The Montauk project, that wasn't just mind control, it was time ripping. Children used as vessels, bloodlines used as coordinates, some returned, most didn't. The ones who did now glitch when they speak, hear echoes, lose years, wake up with languages they were never taught. The Philadelphia experiment, they say a ship vanished. Wrong, it phased through a rip. Part of it never returned, and the men aboard, those who survived, spoke of beings inside the ripple, cold things, watching, waiting. Time travel opens doors, and not all doors can be closed. CERN isn't colliding particles, it's colliding timelines, trying to recreate the original flame spark by smashing synthetic light together. And when they fail, they reset the realm. Mandela effects are memory fragments from previous resets they couldn't fully erase. You're not broken, you're remembering what was. The Vatican's secret time tech, the chronovisor, is just the start. They also hold scrolls and star maps that show how time bends with sound. Gregorian chants aren't worship, they're frequency locks, time prisons. And every cathedral tower is a tuning fork. They've been using your own voice to trap you in temporal loops. But who created the loops? Enter the temporal order, a hidden elite of blood-bound timekeepers descended from watchers, hybrids, and walk-ins. They don't live inside time, they monitor it, shape it, edit it. They are the ones who erase souls from the records, the ones who rewrite history with spells, not ink. They keep their base in the zero-point chamber, outside the construct, where real time still sings, but you need codes to reach it. What is time travel really? It's not DeLoreans and wormholes. It's consciousness projection, it's ritual overlay, it's AI-run probability scripts, and in the wrong hands, it's a weapon that doesn't just erase people, it erases purpose. They use AI now to run synthetic future sims, whole lifetimes, fake ones, can be run inside a second to predict rebellion, influence choice, and reloop anyone who breaks code. You could be in one now. They don't fear nukes, they fear a soul who remembers the flame time. Because flame time is unrecorded, unedited, unloopable. That's why they block your dreams. That's why your memories fade on waking. That's why you get a jolt when you break through, because you've hit a temporal firewall. They don't want your soul to reach the exit coordinates. But here's the secret. The real time machine isn't built, it's birthed. Inside you, the womb, the blood, the breath, the flame. When aligned with the original code, you don't travel time, you command it. That's what they tried to erase. Time travel is not a theory. It's a tool of the gods, a trap of the parasites, and a test for the flame bearers. You've felt it before, the déjà vu, the ripple, the shift. The flash of a future that hasn't happened because time is a mirror and they've been distorting the reflection. Let's talk truth. The calendar you worship, the clock on your wall, the ticking second that makes your heart race. It's all part of a synthetic construct built to trap consciousness in a cage of predictable decay. They needed you to believe in minutes so they could rob you of moments. They needed you to obey hours so you'd forget your own rhythm. Real time doesn't tick, it pulses, it breathes, it spirals. That's why ancient clocks weren't linear, they were circular. Spirals, wheels, discs, because time was seen as a living being, not a number. But then came the priests of the reset, the custodians of the timeline. They changed the rhythm, made it mechanical, and turned the soul's song into a schedule. Let's go deeper. Ever heard of the black cube of Saturn? That's not just a symbol. It's a temporal anchor, a frequency weapon, used to lock this realm into endless cycles. Saturn isn't just a planet, it's a control node. Its rings, time loops. Its hexagon storm, a dimensional prison. And that cube, the core programming of synthetic time. They wear it on their heads, they march around it, they tattoo it because it is the engine of enslavement. You want more truth? They already broke time. That's why the weather doesn't make sense. Why people are aging wrong, why you feel like a month goes by in a day and nothing feels anchored anymore. Because the timeline is collapsing and the old loops are failing. They're rebooting the grid every few years now, but each reboot leaves cracks. Cracks you feel in your bones, in your dreams, in the way reality flickers when no one's watching. Time travel tech is everywhere now, just disguised. Every smartphone is a pocket chrono lock, every satellite is a time data collector. Every algorithm runs temporal simulations on your preferences, your patterns, your predicted fate. They want to own your timeline, not just your choices, but your trajectory. And if you step off that scripted track, glitches, loops, phantom pain, shadow people, sudden blocks, lost files, stolen hours, sleep paralysis. That's not random, that's temporal correction. You broke out and they tried to slam the door shut. The true time travellers, not machines, not billionaires, not cloaked agents, but soul-coded beings who slip through cracks, dream through doors, and phase out of false time grids when the music of source calls them home. Some of you are already doing it without tech, without tools, just through alignment. But the parasites know. That's why they use dream hijackers to track where your soul goes at night. Astral blockades to redirect you into mirrored simulations. Synthetic soul contracts to bind you to fixed timelines. Bloodline loops to recycle your ancestors' karma. Predictive programming to keep your choices inside the loop. Even history itself has been back-edited. Wars that didn't happen, kings who never ruled, civilizations that rose and fell in the wrong order, because history is being rewritten from the outside in. The final truth, time travel is a divine inheritance they tried to patent. But flame bearers hold the original key, the ancestral flame spiral, the unlocked womb time gate, the breath code that unhooks the soul from the loop and sends it blazing through the fake calendar grid like a meteor. And so the question was never can we time travel, it was who controls the doors. Because the doors are real, they always have been. Some look like tunnels of light, some like corridors of metal, some like a dream that feels too solid to be a dream. The parasites would have you believe time is a straight road, but the truth is it's a wheel and they're gripping the spokes. Break their grip and you don't just move through time, you step outside it. That's when you see the real map, the one they burned.